It's the SWP Disciple. Just taking a pleasure walk at night. What is it now? It's got to be I haven't wound my watch, so it's not showing the right time. All right, hold on. Let me just roll up my sleeve. No, it is certainly not 12:25 right now. It's probably like 8:30ish or so. Just walking, probably a couple miles once it's all said and done. I think I'll go and get some Skittles. I'm like dieting down, which I know that sounds like antithetical. No Jolly Ranchers for the next few days. Actually, for the next lot of days, I'm going to Texas on Wednesday. I still haven't bought my return ticket, but I know I'm going there for a friend's nephew's graduation. And you're probably like, that's strange. Well, yeah, it is, but I was invited, and it's really just to see an old college friend. And then I'm going to Austin, Dallas, Fort Worth, see a couple friends, and then ending in Houston. I'm just not sure how long I'm staying there, and if I'm going to bridge it to the next weekend. It seems that it's going to be about 10 days, but we'll see. I've taken some days off, but not actually. That's a good reminder. When I go home, I got to do my OOO out of office. Little sign off on my email, so that way anything that comes into my email kicks back with a message. Shut off my virtual phone and also the calendar, like OneSub calendar. Believe it or not, the manager gets quite upset about that, and those have literally been like the only demerits pretty much on my annual report. Tell me you don't like me without saying that you don't like me. Been spending a lot of money lately, so did the deed and took another 401k loan as my other one's about to fall off. I'm about to just pay off the rest of it. I thought I was going to use it to pay down some debt, and then possibly get a car. If I sell the 228 or trade it in. But as luck would have it, or whatever you want to call it, I kind of like the 228 now. I've been driving it more for the last week plus. Because my cousin, again, serendipity, my cousin, his Silverado, which is also kind of like a family truck, his 2016 Silverado, is down. So, I let my cousins, he and his younger brother, borrow my RAV4 whenever their cars are down, which is, that's the reason why we have an extra car, right? So I've been driving the BMW, which it's fine. It's been nice. Well, it's nice now. It's been raining the past couple of days. It's been like London or Seattle or something. And I'm like, damn it, I like this car. The only problem is that I just need more power, but it's nice for what it is. A compliment here or there always helps. This kid was like, oh, that's a beautiful BMW. And, a couple other people. I mean, the color gets people, right? So they don't really know what it is. You don't see them often. That 2 Series wasn't like a huge seller. And when it did sell, it was to hairdressers with with the luxury spec and automatic, and in like white or gray or some color like that. So the Astoro blue, the black interior, and the manual kind of like make it special. I did put it up for sale on Auto Trader. I got some bots, and then it's on Facebook Marketplace. I've gotten a couple offers, and then one guy was trolling, who's like, "Oh, in your dreams, I put it up for, artificially high, but not exorbitantly high, 21.5. That is 21,500, because I didn't really want to sell it. Thank you. I didn't really want to sell it, and B, it's one of those things. What I've learned in life, a truism, is if you don't want to let something go, make sure you sell it for the right price, right? So at least you can look back and feel like, you did yourself right. What you don't want to do is sell something for too cheap, and you regret selling it anyway because you didn't really want to sell it. So, pick a struggle. So yeah, that's where I'm at. And then another thing that just came around, my friend, we'll call him N. Remember 3 years ago in my long maxi road trip that was 16 days long, as I came down from Oregon with the 228, I crashed at his house. But the year before, we're like buddies now. We've been texting during this walk. He texted me at this point probably a couple hours ago, and we've been just kind of texting, bantering about cars. I said to him pretty soon after I sold it, because like again, that's the theme of this little, I don't know what this is, yarn. I didn't really want to sell the TL, but like, I thought I was gonna get like a Porsche 997, which, the prices rose faster, even then, like 3 years ago, faster than I could save, and the bubble hasn't burst. I don't even know if it is a bubble. I think this is just kind of what it is, and they've gone up even further. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So he's like, yeah, me and my pop are about to, I guess they're about to buy like a Land Cruiser 100 series. And I think he is also thinking about buying like a JDM, like a Japanese domestic market, Toyota Crown. So, and he said he barely drives the TL. So he's like, I know you said if I was ever going to sell it, to let you know first. So I think I'm going to sell it. It now has 93,000 miles. I think I sold it to him with like 81. So in 3 years, he's put on about 12,000 miles. And I'm leaning heavily towards buying it, and then just kind of abandoning, because there's like an a real savings there. And then I also know with the TL, it's not going to drop in value. I wanted to keep it anyway. The only bummer is that, all right, so then I got kind of like 3 old cars from roughly the same era, 2007, 2009, 2016. I don't know that I'm accomplishing anything in terms of flex. Some would argue, why are you worried about flexing at 46? What did Nas say in verbal intercourse? Props is a true thug's wife. Of course, it's debatable whether I'm thug or anything like that, but you know what I'm saying. I am from Dorchester, though. Wink, wink. So yeah, decisions. These are all first world decisions. I took the 401k loan out. My 401k and all my accounts. I have like 5 retirement accounts, or 5. Yeah, let's just call them 5 retirement accounts. Some of them are like Roth, but then there's also non-qualified, which isn't really retirement. They've all done really well. So I kind of hit my magic number, so to speak, this year. My accounts collectively are, probably up like 20%. And I've been, contributing like a madman. I save, I don't know, probably like $1,000 every other week, so every paycheck. So I got to a certain number, so I took a loan for $30K. There's fees and stuff, right? So it's going to be like $29,800 or something like that. And then I'll use that part of that to pay the old loan, which is on its way out. It was like 4 something. So it'll be like a net of like maybe like 26. And then I have on my own, even aside from that, been kind of like spending stupid money. Not stupid money, but like, money that I normally wouldn't spend. Got some Yeezys, got some Sabrina Ionescu's, some joggers, things like that, with the Texas trip in mind. So I got to be careful about that. I remember, actually, let me just keep walking. I was going to get some Skittles here at CVS, but I'll circle the block. What was I just about to say? My cousin. So when he's getting a divorce, I think I told you about that before. I lent him some money, $5,000, just to kind of float him, because like the money was in escrow and they sold the house. The attorney or the courts, or however you want to look at it, I guess it was the court, or maybe it was the attorney. I think it's the attorney that's kind of like the fiduciary on that. They sold the house, but like, they kind of had to settle everything, so they couldn't just split the proceeds, even though like he kind of like desperately needed it. Hell, from what I understand, she desperately needed it too. So anyway, whatever. I didn't expect my money back for like a year, right? I always, when I lend money to close friends and family, I usually just say, just hit me at tax time. And I think this was like March or something. So it would have been like the next year, basically 11 months or so. And then he got the money early. And I remember being pretty happy, right? Because like, how this is family, right? So I knew I was going to get the money back one way or another somehow, whether it was like early or later, whatever. So I didn't feel terrible about it. The way I looked at it was like just kind of like storing my money, because you know how it is when you have like loose cash, you just end up like pinching at it, and then that $5,000 like 8 months later is like $3,400 or something. So anyway, he paid me back right around my birthday in September, and I got the Cash App. And then I remember, my girlfriend at the time, I sent her a screenshot, and then she's like, oh, this can go towards our life together, which unfortunately didn't happen. But I remember when he got like his lump sum, like I think the profit of the home, he lives out in West Springfield, or lived out in West Springfield at the time. I mean, he still does, but a different place. And they split the proceeds. His wife, like or ex-wife, almost immediately bought another house. She ends up being the wiser in this whole thing. I don't know exactly where, but I know it's, from what I understand, from what he said, it's like essentially around the corner from where they were in. A nice house, nice area, nice school system and everything. I don't even know why they send their kid to private school, but like whatever. My nephew, he's about to be 18 at the end of the year. It's like, wow, that time flies. So anyway, my cousin, I think his proceeds ended up being about like 40 grand net or so. And I was like, save your bread. I can tell you how to invest it. Flex is a company that I really believe in. I've been investing in for a while. I wish I bought more. As a matter of fact, well, no, I won't say that. Not gonna incriminate myself. This has to do with my ex from like a while ago. I had gifted her some shares, but we can talk about that another time. But yeah, obviously I understand that he had like some credit card debt and like, he was just kind of getting by the skin of his teeth and all that. But within like a year or so, maybe a little over, that money was gone. So you invest in this house, you're there for however long they were, 7, 8, 9 years, and then essentially have nothing to show for it. And I was like, no matter what you do, just give me like even 15. Do whatever you want to with the rest of it, because I know you're going to anyway. Give me like 15, let me invest it. And I could have probably regenerated that money back for him, given the bull market that we're in right now. Though I don't really know how that's possible. It's like the economy's not good, but the stock market is like, they've long since been disconnected from each other. It's funny because he's having another child due in like a month or two. And I was at the baby shower was it a couple weekends ago, talking to this one guy who's quite obviously, Team Trump or whatever. And somehow I think because, he knows I'm a finance guy, he was like, everyone thinks that I have like some like magical stock tip, like, so like, yeah, what's good right now? What's good to buy, whatever. And then we kind of get into it and I'm like, I don't know, like, the stock market's overheated right now. It's doing really well, but it seems to be like disconnected from, from Main Street, from like the actual economy. And he's like, oh no, I think the economy is actually good. Like, now he didn't explicitly come out and say I'm for Trump, but he said a couple of things and I'm like, all right, so yeah, I know where you think your bread is buttered. And yeah, so I don't really know how long this ride is going with the market. So that kind of informed me to, all right, let me do a 401k loan while the market is hot. Because obviously, like, the higher it is, the more you can borrow, whatever. And I'm paying myself back anyway. And the interest rates have come down a bit. Still higher than I would like it to be. I think it's like around 7.5% for the 401k loan. Better than the one that I did a couple years ago when it was like 9%. So yeah, and I always pay them back early anyway. I did a 3-year. I'll probably pay it off in like 2. But yeah, I was going to use that to just kind of pay down a little bit of debt, and then between that and the sale of my car and then some other like little funds I got here and there, maybe grab something. But surprise, the price of a clean 997 these days, you're in, all right, I don't want to get struck. So let me walk around. I don't know if I can escape it. All right, actually he's coming this way. All right, so he's got a bike with like nothing but speakers on the side of it. I'm not sure how that's enjoyable, and I can understand why certain people don't like certain people. It's funny, my best friend was just texting me about that earlier today, kind of talking about like, black fatigue and stuff like that. That gentleman wasn't black, but it's the same premise of like not having a certain level of like decorum or whatever. But anyway, yeah, so what I'll do just to keep myself honest and to say that I, pursued whatever in earnest, I'll tell N that I'm maybe search for another like 2 weeks to a month to see if I can find what I can find. It's probably not going to yield anything because like the numbers are the numbers, and I think everything's a known quantity at this point. But if not, I think I'm going to buy the TL and I'll just turn that into another road trip, a little shorter this time from Utah instead of Oregon. And then I'll make I do have a friend in Arizona that I wouldn't mind seeing. I'll see how much of a appetite I have for that. She has 2 kids and stuff, and that can be a bit of, I don't want to say chore, but it could be, bring your energy with you. So like I visited her before, and she's since had another child. So I don't know. We'll see how I feel about that. But otherwise, I'm not opposed to just going straight across the lower 48. And I mean, Utah. What's next to Utah? I don't have like a map on me right now. I guess that's what, probably like towards Wyoming or something, and then just going straight across. I've never been to that part of the country, and I'd imagine if I'm going straight across and then up, I'll probably land like in Tennessee. Maybe I'll stop in Memphis. I've never been there. Or what's the other town, like Music City? I'm like, or is it Memphis? Yeah, I'm like blanking out right now in Tennessee, and then I guess up Appalachian and straight up. But we'll see how that works out. The car shouldn't be expensive. I should be able to. I'll probably do like a small loan, but I should be able to just buy it straight cash if I wanted to. But yeah, so there's that. Filling in at the optical shop tomorrow, and then Texas the next day, Wednesday. So anyway, enough of a ramble. I did just come across something concerning a church brother and sister as I was walking in Forest Park. I'd been walking for probably 40 minutes before I even turned the camera on, and with their child, who I haven't seen in a while, and clearly something is wrong, which sucks. I remember I'll get off of them. So I remember in undergrad economics class, we'll call him Professor E. He had a son that was like, mentally delayed or challenged or whatever. And man, like we're actually kind of like buddies. Even to this day, he'll still hit me up every now and again on LinkedIn, and the despair and just sadness. It's funny, man. Life is so fragile. Like I haven't had children. As you know, as you get older as a man, that can contribute to some cognitive whatever, usually autism, but it can obviously, anything's on the table. And then of course, if the mother is older, which for me, even a younger woman, you're still talking like late 30s. So I worry about that actually a lot. Maybe without great cause, but it's something for sure. I do worry about that a lot. So I'll say a prayer for them tonight, for whatever that's worth. But anyway, let me get my tropical Skittles on and see if the Knicks are going to end this thing tonight. I have a feeling that they're going to win the title because San Antonio and OKC are beating each other up. The NBA prides itself in those that are like hardcore fans, whatever, that like the right winner ends up at the end of the year, like the best team, so to speak. But lately, it's been pretty much determined by like injuries or guys getting like nicked up, which I do not like. I don't want the NBA to turn into like the NFL or or other sports. But anyway, the Lord is faithful. Stay with me. God bless.